Hi, I'm Mike Garner with SoCal Warhammer Radio, and I am here with Martin Goddard from Peter Pig Miniatures. We're here to talk about one of his new games, Washington's Army. Martin, what can you tell us about it?
Right, well, it's a new book being published. It's available in America. Nice and shiny, nice spiral binder. You can fold the rules flat, and everything's in there for a game, including the startup, the game, and the resolution of victory points. It's all in the one book. Because it's very narrow, it's got all the 9 different armies you want, and it's just the American War of Independence or American Revolution.
We won, so we get to name it. Much like my people lost the War of Northern Aggression.
Those damn winners.
Now, can you tell me a little bit about the scale of Washington's Army?
Yeah, the basic unit in this, can we see these figures here or no?
Sure.
The basic unit is going to be a battalion of infantry.
Okay.
A typical game of Washington's Army would be about 9 battalions, a unit of dragoons, and 1 or 2 artillery pieces. This is an infantry game.
Okay.
So we're looking at about 9 battalions a side. However, it's a defence-attack game. You bring your 9 battalions to the game, and the rules tell you who's attacking, who's defending, what soldiers are off table, and what you got to do.
Okay. Now, and for our listeners, this would be 1 battalion. This is an opposing battalion.
Yep. So here's battalion British infantry wearing the round campaign hats, which they tend to do, rather than tricorns or bearskins.
Okay.
This is a battalion of Continentals.
Okay.
You can see the flags and that. All looks very pretty. We've got the reds, the blues. It's a nice, attractive little picture. And these are 15mm.
Yeah, very good detail. Very good-looking models for a 15mm scale. Now, I noticed some of the bases have 3 figures on it. Some of them have 4.
Yeah, good point,
What's
Mike.
the significance of that?
Okay, just so there's no writing down of who's who, if you see 4 figures, they're line infantry. Anything with 3 figures is either militia, there's some militia,
Okay.
or Indians, or possibly light infantry. So 4, and especially with the bayonets, are line infantry. Any 3s are going to be light infantry, militia, Indians. They ain't got bayonets. So 3s are slightly looser formations.
So what I'm getting, when people see these bases of the line infantry, that's kind of what people expect when they see the Patriot, the big block of English red coats.
You're right.
That would be line infantry.
Absolutely.
Where the Continental Militia and some of the skirmishers that we just had would be very similar to the ragged, less trained, or...
Well, these would be the guys, yeah, you're right, the ragged, the lesser. These would be the guys that be defending maybe a wall or a fence, something like that. That's their major job. They don't have bayonets. These guys, as you say, this is the bayonets, these are the line infantry. However, these are very useful troops, militia, because a lot of them, commanders use whatever's available to them, and Washington made great use of them. But Washington himself said militia are really only good if you put them behind something to hold a line. At battles like Cowpens, they said to militia, stay, fire once, twice, then off you go. If you don't ask too much of them, militia are absolutely fine. But these guys have to take it in the face. They're going to get shot to pieces close in, but they've got the bayonet, they're trained soldiers, they will fight. There won't be a problem there.
Okay. And the British Army at that period, obviously the outstanding army, military force in the world, best discipline, and they could take it. And that bayonet, especially in the early war years, really brought a lot of terror to the lighter American militia forces, didn't it?
Absolutely, yeah. But with good reason. The bayonet is a horrible weapon.
Oh, absolutely.
And the bayonet will actually finish people off. It won't just start... Yeah, but British Army, great little army. But how to motivate his units and actually get them moving. Everything has a numerical value. Low is good. So 1 for veterans is brilliant. 2 for average is okay. Rules would be 3. 1, 2s or 3s. You add their number to the officer's number. That commander is a 2. He's nice average commander. Be better if he is a 1. Better still if he's a 0. And rubbish if he's a 3 or a 4. Now, he's a 2. These are a 2. That means 4. Could you roll 2 dice, Mike? See 4 or more. Success. You got a 7.
Okay.
You either win or lose that. They're now motivated. You now roll a single dice to see what you can do with them. You've got 5 points with this unit. It costs 1 point to go 3 inches, 1 point to volley, 1 point to change formation, 1 point to wheel, etc., etc. Now, you've got to cross this fence. So if they're coming forwards, we're going to take a point off just for crossing the fence.
Okay.
You've got 4 points left. In this long, wide formation, you only allowed 2 points of movement. So would you like to move them forward 6 inches and see what you reckon?
Okay.
Assuming we're going to bring them forward.
Yeah.
We're demonstrating Mike might be sort of very aggressive there. Mike's being offensive, aren't you?
I generally am, trust me.
So, Mike has used 2 points of movement and 1 point for crossing the fence. So far, so good. Now, with the remaining point, we can have a volley. So you volley, you've got 6 bases, you roll 6 dice. Now, in this game, almost every single action is successful on 5s or 6s. Whatever you're doing, 5s or 6s. Now, average soldiers can re-roll 1s or 2s. Veterans could re-roll 1, 2, 3s. Raw can only re-roll 1s. That's the difference in their firepower. So if I get Mike to roll 6 dice, if that's all right. Now, how many 5s or 6s? That's rubbish, isn't it?
Yep.
It's appalling. You can re-roll the 1s or 2s to try and get 5 or 6s. Right. Mike has achieved 2 hits, and that's how his shooting's carried out. And we go on from there. We'll get this unit going as well.
Okay.
Now, this unit, they're a 1. Remember, low is good. They're a 1. He's a 2. Value of 3. 3 or more on 2 dice. Yeah.
Got it.
Having said that, a 2 or a 3 would be an automatic fail, and 11 or 12 would be an automatic pass. Just that nothing's ever guaranteed. You've motivated them. You now roll 1 dice for their action points. 4. We'll add 1 on because they're veterans. We would have taken 1 off if they're raw. Now, 5 points, what do you wish to achieve them? Do you want to expand or advance or what?
I'm going to have them expand, or not expand. I'm going to move forward with 1 point.
Now, yeah, but any wheeling or expanding has to be done at the very start of the turn.
Oh, okay.
To stop
So-
you going up to an enemy, then peeling round or weird things.
Gotcha.
So if you want to expand, you have to do
I'm
it
going
now.
to expand then.
Right, then up to 3 bases for a point. That's the maximum expansion allowed. So that's cost you just 1 point, Mike. It's fine. Notice the flag's still on the right because they're veterans. That's 1 point.
Okay.
Now you've got 4 more points. Each point is 3 inches, but you only be allowed to use 2 points movement because you're in a wide formation.
Okay.
So 6 inches would be a maximum move forwards in that case.
Okay. Well, how about what if I want to wheel here to
Right,
bring
yeah,
them
good
up
point.
around
Okay.
and support
Up
the
to
flank of this unit?
45 degrees should have only cost 1 point. You've got to pay 2 points because it's more than 3 bases wide. So huge. You've got 6 companies abreast.
Okay.
So if you're willing to pay 2 points, Mike, you can hinge it like a door.
Okay.
No one goes backwards. The men always go forwards. You can judge the 45 degrees. There's no problem at all. You don't have to measure anything. Just
Alright,
it's
so-
anything up to 45 degrees is just 2 points, and you're
Alright.
done. Yes, you just grab it. The idea is grab things and move them. That's cost you 2 points.
Okay.
You've still got points left.
Okay. With that, and I can't do any more movement.
You can do 6 inches movement if
Oh,
you
I
like.
can do 6
Yeah,
inches.
so your
Okay.
forward movement is 3 inches per point.
Okay.
But clever things like wheeling, formation changes is done before you start going forwards.
Okay. So I'm going to move them up to a supporting position here,
And they're fine, yeah.
and
they're
both
done.
flanks are protected.
And they're all finished. Now, once again, that's a very good formation for shooting in and fighting in. It's not a good formation for always moving around through rough cover, because you might become disordered, it slows you down. What you might consider is, not now, but can I move your soldiers, Mike? So,
Oh, absolutely.
if you put them in a column like this, they could move through any terrain without being slowed down, and they can go up to 4 points of movement, and 4 threes gives you 12 inches of movement, and a foot of movement on a 3 foot deep table is quite significant. So two moves of 1 foot, 2 feet can get you right around the flank. Of course, you're being column, and so I might hammer the hell out of them by hitting them in the flank or something like that.
Probably wouldn't
But
want to get
you
hit
take
from
some risk.
artillery right there.
Exactly, yeah, and the artillery's a problem, morale's a problem, but you take your choices and you suffer the consequences. We're going to have at it. Mike's got some white dice, Mike's got some yellow dice. We use the same colour dice so people don't fuss about their favourite dice and stuff like that. Piggies are 6s, by the way. Now,
Gotcha.
on the play sheet, it will tell you how many dice to use, but I'll just say it verbally. Now, first of all, let us assume that Mike is charging my line of British. We first have a dice per base. So Mike will put a pile of 6 dice, I put a pile of 5 dice. There they go. Can that be seen, right? Now, the next one is, because Mike's doing an assault, he adds 2 more dice for that. Let's say, for example, Mike had some supporting troops close by, he'd add another 2 dice.
I like the way this is looking.
Now, because they're line infantry, they get 2 more dice. So it's a pile of dice. It's quite a big pile of dice because Mike and I are looking for 5s or 6s. We need to roll a fair few dice so it evens out. We don't want a whole combat to be based on just 1 dice. It's too weird or far out. Now, if we roll a handful of dice, we want 5s or 6s. I've achieved 1 because I'm rubbish at this. Never mind. Yeah, I'm going to let Mike win. All right. Mike's achieved 6. Well, good for you. I'm really pleased about that, Mike. Right, now, Mike has achieved 6 hits. I've achieved 1 hit. Flag on the right means they're a veteran unit. They save on 3, 4, 5, 6s. Average, flag in the centre, save on 4, 5, 6s. Raw, if you have the flag on the left, be on 5 or 6s. I've got to save 6 hits. It's a very traditional mechanism, but it means that both players roll some dice. It's a game. Mike, you've got to roll 1 dice and try and achieve a 3, 4, 5 or 6.
And I have.
That's wonderful. I'm very pleased.
I am
now,
too.
I've got to save 4, 5, 6s. Oh, wouldn't you know it? Right. 4. I've lost 4. Each base is worth 2. So take off 1 base, 2 base. I put down 4 dead markers, or 3's the most I need to show. I've lost the fight. Sorry, I should have moved the men in. Silly me. There we go. I've lost the fight.
All right.
Yeah, thanks for that. Yeah,
Thank you very much, Mark.
Glad you slaughtered my men earlier, Mike. That's right.